Hey friends, Wayne over here at the Ram Man Inc. So I've made, I don't know, 6 or 7 videos by now about our planetaries that we're developing. Here it is Christmas time of 2021, and we're finalizing the design and what we're going to offer. So this video is specifically going to talk about the guys on the rear axles. How are they going to put their planetaries on the rear axles? So your planetary assembly that you're going to get, now this is just mock-up stuff. We're going to have a drive plate. We're going to have a drive hub, which is going to attach to the drive plate. Going to have our planetary pinion guts, along with our sun gear, and we're going to have our end plate, end cap. So, and they're going to be less than 4 inches long. They're going to be less than 4 inches long. So if you can picture this, that's going to be your bolt-on planet assembly. Except instead of 5 inches, it's going to be about 3.5. Two of these is going to come in a pair. Now, for your rear axle guys like this right here, this is a Dana 70 snout. For you rear axle guys, where did that bad boy go? For you rear axle boys, this is what you got. And then if you have a HD 70, I bet y'all didn't know this. There's an HD 70 shaft, and there's a Dana 80 shaft. They are the same, except for the length. 39.5, and these come in like 36.5. This is a 35 spline dry puck, Dana 70. I bet a lot of y'all didn't know that, did you? They's the same. What's different is the size of the hubs and the bearings. That's what's different. Anyway, shagging on back. So, you got you a Dana 70 or Dana 80 rear axle with an 8-bolt hub like this. What do you got to have to bolt on your planetary kit? There you go. That's more like it. What do you have to bolt on your planetary kit? Here's what you have to have. You need to have a shaft. It's 35 splines on the inside 30 splines on the outside. So you need your couple shafts with 30 splines on the outside. Now, before you start freaking out and all that, I'll tell you. Reason we're using 30 splines is because it's typical Dana 60 size. It's plentiful and it's cheap. And remember now, we're doing planetaries. And planetaries at minimum double your capacity. At minimum, they double your capacity. So, this little old 30 spline Dana 60 shaft, coupled with your old planetary, is a force to be reckoned with. The other thing is, it just so happens that since we're using the GM planetary gear sets, the factory 30 spline happens to be just the right size to match up to that sun gear. Told you, these components have to be widely available. They have to be reasonable, and we have to be able to adapt them to what we've already got. And this right here happens to be just perfect to go on a 30 spline shaft. So, one of the things that makes this possible. So, all you have to have is a 30 spline shaft about 1.5 inches longer than your factory shaft. So if you want to put planetaries on your 70 or your 80 hub, all you have to have is a set of shafts with some 30 splines on the outer. Now, just like you have for your front Dana 60. Right? Here's your factory stub shaft. Here's your factory spindle. And, of course, this would be your factory hub that would fit on. And you might have some dry plates, or you might have a locker. But you see on the front axle, the stub shaft sticks out past the spindle. So on the front, you don't need anything. Now, it's gotten to the point now, but I don't want to scare you. It's gotten to the point now with all the mud buggies and all the race cars and all the rock bouncers and this blow-up phenomenon. There are shaft spliners everywhere. Literally. They've just blown up everywhere, even in the smallest of towns. Because all you need is a dividing head, a little old mill, and a little old cutter, and you can do some external splines. Now, on a more professional level, of course, you can get them from all the big manufacturers that make rear axles, right? Curry, Mark, Williams, right? The list goes on. Foot axle, Dutchman axle, Brannick Motorsports. Hell, you got people that are selling these brand new 4340 floating axles splined on each end. Hell, whatever splines you want, 30, 35, 28, 40, whatever you want, for like, I don't know, $350 shipped to the door. Yeah, shipped to the door. You don't believe me? You Google that shit. Google that shit. Brannick, Dutchman, look up splined axles. Hell, that's all you gotta have. So you boys, they're putting your planetaries on your rear axle. All you have to have is a set of shafts that's 1.5 inches longer than your factory ones, and you need some 35 splines on the outer, because the 35 splines is going to match to your sun gear. Your 30 splines is going to match to your sun gear. That's what's going to slide on right here. That's what's going to drive your planet cage. You with me? There you go. There's the assembly, except it fits right there. That's where it fits. So, that's all you gotta have, my friends. That's it. There's your bolt-on planetaries for your rear axle. Mount to any Dana 70 hub or Dana 80 hub out there. Bolts right to your hub, less than 3.5 inches tall. Now, how much are these things going to be priced at? I think they're going to be kind of like my hubs. I think they're going to be somewhere around $15.95, $17.95 for a pair shipped to the door. God, fuck, Wayne. $1,600 for 2 gizmos? Yeah. You gotta remember, this isn't something that I'm doing over Sunday dinner. It requires a little bit of machine work, about 50 cents worth of knowledge, and a whole lot of bust ass. But yeah, I think that's fair, considering you got these people out there on the market that are making these big old bearing hubs to fit on a Dana 80 or 40 spline or something like that, or them other people that make a hub that fits on a deuce and a half, and they're like $700 or $800 a piece for some aluminum spun hub. Yeah. Now, I want to remind you of something. Remember what we talking about these planetaries. When you run in planetaries, to spend money and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on your ring and pinion, sticking a big old ass Dana 80 up front or underneath the rear end, buying 35 spline shafts and 40 spline shafts and 4340 this and 1541 that, and getting on the forums and talking about how yours is bigger than your buddy's, is bigger than your buddy's bigger. All y'all dudes on them forums conversing all day, expanding your knowledge and letting it filter down to the less fortunate. I really thank you. Oh, anyway, I got off track, didn't I? Yeah, so anyway, I wish I had more time. I think I've only spent about 4 minutes on a forum in my entire life. Maybe 14. Long time ago, when they first came out. So, yeah, just gonna bolt right right down to any Dana 70 or 8 lug, 8 bolt hub. It doesn't matter where you get them from, whether you get them from a Ford or whether you get them from a what, they's all basically the same. That's where our drive plate's going to bolt to, so. Yeah, but anyway, getting back, so that, and I know dudes that spend $2,000 or $3,000 on doubler, tripler, quadrupler transfer cases. Spend buku bucks on all kinds of RCV shafts and billet U-joints and that are real shiny and shit so you can show your buddies, and 40 spline shafts made out of 43, 40, 56, 11, 96 with a Rockwell hardness of 198 or whatever. All that bullshit and doublers is basically obsolete and a waste of money, when all that can be solved right here. This is 3-to-1, not 2-to-1. So, you can drop you a set of Planetaries in on it with a 3-to-1 reduction on like an old Chevrolet truck. Remember, you used to have square body something, got a 350 in it with a 4-speed, 2-to-1 transfer case, 205 or 203 or something like that. First gear with a set of 3-to-1 Planetaries. Had one like it in the Army. That sumbitch wide open. You think your granny low's low and low? You think it's low? Put some 3-to-1 Planetaries on there, and I tell you what, you won't be going but 1 mile per hour. 1 mile per hour at 4,000 RPM. You want to talk about walking up a rock hill or walking up a tree, you won't be going but about 1 or 2 miles an hour at 5,000 RPM. That's it. You'll be able to walk 3 times faster than your buggy will go on level ground. Let that sink in a minute. God bless you. God bless America. Wanted to add one thing. I appreciate the guy that told me that he bought a set of locking hubs, because I finished all my videos with God bless America. I'm very fortunate to be here. Most people don't know it. I'm a disabled vet. Being in the service was one of the best things that I ever did. I love America. I love all the opportunities that have been given to me, even though I fucked up several times, like many people. I love America, and I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. One note that disturbs me. I know somebody that closes down that's very famous in our country, a leader. And if you listen to him, he's the only president that I have ever known that does not say, God bless America. And pay attention. I always say, God bless our troops or something like that. But the words, God bless America, if you don't believe me, you just go back and look. Every single time there's been a closing of an interview, whether it's 5 times or 450 times. I've never found a time that they said, God bless America. This person. With that, I close. Bye. You listen.